guys, it's Hannah and welcome back to a game of Fangs and Thrones. Now today, as you can probably guess by the title, I'm going to be doing my October TBR. I'm hopefully hoping to get to these books, but university, school, college, whatever you want to call it, starts for me on the 3rd of October, which is a Saturday, because I do distance learning. I do it through the Open University, so it's part-time, and with a YouTube channel, a part-time study and full-time job, reading is going to be a bit of a push, but that's what we do. We like to overachieve on this channel, so yay. So the first book is just the Dust Jacket, because I am currently reading it, and that's obviously hoping to finish it, and that is Seven Devils by Elizabeth May and Laura Lamb. I don't want to talk too much about it because, like I say, it is my current read. I am in the middle. I think I'm about halfway through. It's downstairs and I'm upstairs, which is why we just have the Dust Jacket. But it does have quite a few trigger warnings in it. There's drug abuse, there's parental abuse, there's a really abusive parent, there's probably PTSD, amputation. That was quite a graphic, nicely well done, but graphic scene. So just be aware of that. But there is also a great female friendships. There's trans rep. The other one, anxiety rep, survivor guilt. It's all included in this book. I feel bad saying book when I've just got the Dust Jacket, but basically it's a sci-fi. I'm not sure if there's going to be a female romance, but there is definitely female attraction. We have Eris, who, now this isn't a spoiler, this is just what it says on the Dust Jacket. We've got Eris, who used to be a princess in her old life before she faked her death, and she was heir to the galaxy's most ruthless empire, but she left that all behind, faked her death, and joined the Noventane resistance. And then we also follow Chloe, who is a resistance fighter pilot, and she is the amputee. So there's great disability. I think it's great disability speaking as a. My disabilities are different. They are hidden. So I'm more on the side of Ariadne, who is a young girl who has anxiety. So I'm more that side than Chloe, but I think Chloe is brilliant. But yep, and so Chloe and Eris or Discordia meet up. They are put on this mission that goes wrong, where they end up meeting Ariadne, who I've mentioned, who is a hacker. We have Nyx, who is a soldier, and then we have Rhea, who is a courtesan. So there might be another trigger warning that I've forgotten, but Goodreads will have all of them. If anything like that does upset you, you want to be aware of that going in. So that's book, well, we'll say half, because just got to finish it. Then we have, because it's October and I'm feeling a little bit spooky, we have two thrillers by Greer Hendricks and Sarah Pekkanen. We have You Are Not Alone and An Anonymous Girl. So You Are Not Alone follows the story of Shay. She wants to find love, but she's on her own. She wants to be fulfilled, but she's in a dead-end job. And she wants to belong, but she's really she's finding herself more and more lonely, until she meets Cassandra and Jane, the Moore sisters. They've got the life of glamorous perfection, always get what they want, and obviously they invite Shay into their circle. Everything seems to get better, but then obviously, because it's a thriller, nothing's ever as simple as that. And I think this might be a story of be careful what you wish for. Then we have An Anonymous Girl. Now this one is different. Jessica signs up for a psychology study by Dr. Shields. All she needs to do is answer a few questions, collect the money, and then she can leave. But the questions grow more intense and invasive in the session, and Dr. Shields starts to almost control Jess, taking her out on outings and telling her what to wear, how to act. So obviously this might be more a story of is everything as it seems, or is there more to it? Then we have just something a little bit lighthearted, because I'm a coward and I think they will scare me. We have The Babysitter's covered by Kate Williams. Their name's so floppy. But basically with this one, it doesn't have the blurb on the back. This one is about Esme and Cassandra. Ooh, another Cassandra. Esme is 17. She runs a babysitter's club, but she knows it's lame, but she doesn't want a job, and she likes kids, she likes babysitting, but she needs the money from the babysitting at the moment because everything seems to be going wrong. And then Cassandra turns up. She's Instagram model hot, dresses like she found her clothes in a dumpster, and has a bit of a rebellious streak. But Cassandra's mum either died or isn't around, because she left a note for Cassandra saying find the babysitters, and because it is the coven, I'm thinking witches and magic. What does it say at the back? A heroic lineage of superpowers, magic rituals, and saving the innocent from seriously terrifying evil. So I'm thinking this might be a bit more fun, a bit more light-hearted for a book about babysitters and witches and magic. So, yeah. Then we go back to scary. I don't know if this one's scary, but it just has that sort of vibe, and if I remember right, it's about spiders and necromancy. Yep, so Saoirse? I'm going to say Saoirse. Saoirse Ashwin is supposed to be the Queen's next royal spy, but shamans attack and kill her best friend Singo. Then Saoirse brings Singo back to life and is unveiled as a soul guide, so then she's summoned to the domain of the Spider King. And there's a war going on, so Saoirse must master her newly awakened abilities before the trees shatter the brittle peace, or worse, claim Singo the friend she would die for. So, that sounds interesting, and this cover is so spooky. It's not very often, but I actually prefer the outer cover to the inner hidden cover. But yep, and that was by Laurie M. Lee. Then, time constraints, but I am hoping to get to The Damned by Renee Ahdieh, and I haven't looked at the back of this one, to be honest, because I don't want spoilers. But in case you didn't know, this is the sequel to The Beautiful, which followed, what was her name? Celine. It's been a while. Which followed Celine and Sebastian. There was a mystery, and I know that The Beautiful didn't really get. It's got some mixed reviews, but I enjoyed it. But obviously this picks up where The Beautiful left off, and if I remember right, Sebastian has awakened his vampire curse. Now that's well, we know going in that something's not right, and I think everybody by now has read The Beautiful, because it was marketed as a vampire romancy mystery. And yeah, I'm looking forward to dive back into this world of New Orleans vampires. And if I do get time, there are a couple of books that I do want to get to. There's a couple of books from last month's TBR that I didn't get to that I do want to finish, with any luck. And then we have Harrow the Ninth I have that on my Kindle by Tamsin Moore, and I Am, which is the sequel. I don't know if, here we go, which is the sequel to Gideon the Ninth, and Gideon the Ninth was hilarious. I didn't have a clue what was going on in it, but it worked. Yet we have, without spoiling it too much, Gideon the Harrow the Ninth is obviously the sequel, the companion. I would, without reading it, I think it's a companion more than anything else. In of Harrow, through Harrow's point of view, but Gideon the Ninth is a mystery. It's a part thriller, I would say, because there's definitely a spooky, scary element to it. Basically, Gideon is a necromancer's servant. Harrow is the necromancer, Gideon is her servant. And they get called to this competition for the Emperor, and hijinks ensue, and that is all I'm going to say, because it's, you're best off with that one going into it not knowing anything. But there are hints of female romances in there. So yep, and we are hoping, so just as a recap, I'll not show you the ones that from last month, because obviously that'd be a spoiler for the wrap up. But yep, we have, and there are a couple of other books on my Kindle that I'm hoping to get to, but you know, I'm not that fussed about them. So we have, let's have a look. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 books that I want to read in October. Yeah, I think that's doable. And watch me regret saying that on camera this time next month. But I'll see you in the next one. Bye.